You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Yes, Sasha Banks is your women's champion, and we are live with the Wrestling Outsiders podcast. I'm your host, the one, the only, Emerson Whitner, joined as always by the only person who who does not show up for the show just because of a concussion, my brother, Brian Whitner. Brian, do I need to call in the refs for a stoppage to stop you from doing the show tonight?
You know what? I think you're good tonight for now. I mean, if I do get fired tonight at work, you'll be the first person I call tomorrow.
So you did not take 4 or 5 power bombs tonight consecutively?
No. I felt pretty good.
Well, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Not just welcome to our normal listeners here on Blog Talk Radio, but welcome around the internet on AngryMarks.com, as tonight the Wrestling Outsiders podcast NXT review is going to double as my weekly NXT audio recap over there. So say hello to Stevie J.
We are taking over AngryMarks.com once again.
Yes, Brian. So say hi to Stevie J and the rest of the Angry Marks website.
Hi, Stevie J. Thank you for having us.
And if you're listening over there, check us out on Blog Talk Radio /Wrestling Outsiders. We are here every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central, 45 episodes and counting. With pay-per-view reviews, TV reviews, interviews with some of the best and brightest. Every episode available on demand, or you can also download us on iTunes. Subscribe to our RSS feed. We have all that stuff. Go do it now.
We even have Twitter. We have a Twitter.
Yes, we are on Twitter. We have 6 followers on Twitter the last time I checked at WO Podcast.
I think we're at 8 now.
We have 8 now.
Yeah.
Yes, I see how often you tweet.
All you Angry Marks fans, you need to add us on Twitter and Facebook. We also have Facebook. Well,
yes, the Twitter is used as often as our Facebook page is, I think.
I think Twitter actually may got an upgrade to the one we use most now.
So anyway, Brian, how'd you enjoy TakeOver Rival tonight?
It was quite interesting. I thought the tag team title match was the best match if they didn't have all the fuck-ups in it. So, but it was overall
it was like the worst match on the show. What the hell are you smoking?
I said if you take out all the fuck-ups with all the reversals and everything else they had, yeah.
If you take out the entire match, the match was pretty good.
Yeah.
We'll look into this later, but I still don't know which one is Wesley Blake and which one's Buddy Murphy. Just saying.
Yes, probably.
So, by the way, before we get into the show, programming note, Brian, you know what we're doing for the next 6 weeks?
I believe we begin our WrestleMania saga.
Yes, a 6-week history of WrestleMania, 5 WrestleManias at a time. And yes, I'm forcing Brian to watch all 30 of them in the next 42 days.
You didn't tell me that
he's probably sitting over there with his jaw on the ground. Yeah,
you didn't tell me that part. You just what?
Well, Brian, perhaps you should watch, them. I've already watched the first 3, and I watch every WrestleMania every year.
Well, me too, Emerson.
No, you don't.
What do you mean?
You watch every WrestleMania in the build-up to WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't do that. No, I mean, I've watched every WrestleMania, all of WrestleMania every year. WrestleMania that year, watch the entire show.
No.
Oh, okay.
I hope you watch it since we're at 2 of them or 3 of them.
Yeah. I've been 3.
God. So NXT TakeOver. I must say that it was a nice change of pace not having the goddamn show have technical issues all night.
Hey, they had one big, huge technical issue, so it's okay.
Well, that's because of a man who should be arrested for hacking into the satellite.
I know, I agree.
Right.
But, it happens.
Well, before we get into the impending debut and arrest of Solomon Crowe next week, let's start from the beginning. We'll start from the beginning with Hideo Itami versus Tyler Breeze. This was set up last week after Hideo lost his number one contenders tournament match to Finn Balor. Breeze beat the shit out of him backstage when he was being interviewed by Jeremy Borash's non-bug-eyed younger brother.
Is that who that is, really?
No. It just, That's who it looked like. Like, we still have no idea who the heck it actually is, I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't know because I don't watch NXT until next week.
Well, we know that the guy's name is Greg. That's about it.
Yeah, well, Greg. Go figure, Greg.
Well, this was a pretty good opener. A plant jumped the guardrail and hugged Prince Pretty as he walked to the ring. The finish, Breeze worked on his Hideo's knee the whole match. Hideo went for the GTS, which caused the fans to shit themselves, but Breeze slipped out, hit the supermodel kick. Itami kicked out and got the win with the running 1-foot drop kick.
Beautiful match. It was a good starter. And I feel these 2 minutes where there's still like a cruiserweight division or a light heavyweight division, and these two would excel in it.
You realize most of NXT is under 215 pounds, right?
Well, the entire NXT card would excel in it, besides Kevin Owens.
And, by the way, Mr. Regal backstage, I called this one wrong. Like, they spent, several times during the night, Mr. Regal's backstage. You see him talking to both Owens and Zayn. I was convinced he was turning heel.
Really?
Yes, especially with all the good sportsmanship throughout the show. I'm like, yeah, it's just going to end with Regal turning heel. It has to. And it didn't.
You were wrong.
Well, I was also wrong last week
during
the. I was also wrong during the contract signing a few weeks ago when I said that since Owens and Zayn couldn't touch, Owens would beat the shit out of Regal and powerbomb him through it to the table. He did not do that either.
North.
Well, by the way, going back to the thing before, speaking of two people who aren't going to qualify for the NXT Cruiserweight division, Bull Dempsey and Baron Corbin in a no disqualification match.
Yeah. Two big guys beating the shit out of each other for a couple minutes.
Well, I was sad. I thought this match had a 90-second time limit. It did not.
I saw that. I saw you posted that. No.
In fact, it went almost 5 minutes. They messed up. Yes. They messed up a move when Baron went for the cactus clothesline where they both tumble over the top, but Bull just didn't go over, and so Bull was left in the awkward position of having to throw himself over the top rope afterwards. And Bull got a near fall off the diving headbutt, but Baron won his third match over Bull in as many tries with the end of days.
Bull. Not quite as catchy as balls, but you get the point.
I thought they were going to change his name to Jobber Dempsey because he just keeps jobbing.
Job. I can see this already.
Yes. Well, they are repackaging him, That was the idea anyway. I don't know. Maybe he'll be Job Dempsey.
Maybe. The man who loves the job. Job Dempsey.
Tag titles on the line, Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy versus the Lucha Dragons. Once again, I have no idea which one's Blake or which one's Murphy. I am comparing them to the Naturals, only on steroids.
Well, they called the one Cowboy Blake, and I think he was the one the skinnier of the two.
Yeah. Yes, one's a cowboy apparently, and one is Australian. Even though,
yes.
Well, what makes one of them a cowboy?
he channeled his energy in the storm, I believe.
Yes. Blake, well, this match was just one mess up after another. Blake and/or Murphy messed up a Hurricanrana that Sin Cara tried giving him. And there's many ways you can mess up a Hurricanrana. Well, they chose the easiest way to mess it up by just not going over for it.
And that
it hurt. And so Sin Cara got to look like an idiot. They gave Sin Cara an alley-oop neckbreaker, which is honestly the coolest move they have ever done in their lives. But, of course, all that was just another move.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was cool. Kalisto got the hot tag and went all lucha on them, including dropping the dark-haired natural on top of his freaking head on a Hurricanrana. Mm-hmm.
All I could write was, I'm like, good God, Blake and Murphy suck. Well, at least one of them do, or maybe both of them. I don't know. The champs retained with a combination running suplex frog splash, which is not as cool as the alley-oop neckbreaker.
No, not even close.
Although they did improve the record to 3/175.
That's all that matters.
Yep. Well, speaking of things that matter, Captain Midnight interfered with the signal intrusion. He doesn't want to pay $9.99 a month for WWE Network.
I don't blame him.
And
I don't blame him.
Brian
he gets hired the day after WrestleMania last year, and now he's finally getting his push on this NXT roster. I don't blame him.
I point out that Brian didn't get my Captain Midnight reference, but I'm willing to bet literally many people didn't get that reference.
Nope.
Captain Midnight was a famous person who, in 1986, protested the fees of HBO, which, by the way, HBO at the time was only $12.95 a month, and he protested it. He worked for, the cable companies, and he interrupted Pee-wee's Big Adventure by putting up a screenshot where he interrupted the screen and just refused to let it play for like 3 or 4 minutes. And somebody caught on and changed it back to the movie, and that was it.
Well, I will say now, Emerson, starting next week, I will be watching NXT every week. I will fulfill the promise I made to you when I told you. I will start watching NXT when Solomon Crow debuts. So
does this mean you're actually going to join?
Sure.
Does this mean you're actually going to join me on the NXT update from now on?
I will try my best to join you on the NXT update, Emerson. Can't promise you anything, but I will try my best to do my duty, to obey the scout law on site. It's a whole different thing.
Your civil duty, Brian, right?
Yes, to watch Solomon Crow. And I will wear my Sammy Callahan t-shirt every week.
Well, I still have my Samurai del Sol pillow, even though Kalisto keeps losing.
It's okay. It happens. Did you get him to sign it? I forget.
Yes.
Yes,
I did. I just wish I had a picture of him just because he's so ungodly small on a show full of ungodly small people.
Look how small Sammy was compared to me. He was short as hell.
As hell.
I'm not that tall guy.
You're what, 5'9"?
Yeah, I'm like 5'9", yeah.
Yeah, so he's probably like 5'6".
Yeah. I'm interested
Adrian
to see where they pull his character. I'm interested to see.
Adrian Neville versus Finn Balor in the finals of the number 1 contenders tournament. This was just a phenomenal match. They countered counters, reversed reversals. They blocked kicks with their heads and just hit each other with some amazing moves.
Yes, this is true.
Perhaps the biggest move of the match and perhaps the show was Neville going for the Red Arrow, Balor getting his knees up, and hooking him in a small package, and the whole audience thought that was the finish, but Neville kicked out.
Oh, God.
But finally, Balor hit the running drop kick and won, to my surprise, with the diving double foot stomp.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised he won cleanly.
I was surprised he won because I figured, this was that Neville's going to win, and that was it. That's that. Ultimately, it wasn't as good of a match as Zayn versus Neville from Our Evolution, but it was still, with the exception of the three-way at the Rumble, is the best WWE match all year. Again, not saying a whole boatload, but still best match of the year. So, Balor kicked out of the Phoenix Splash, but Neville did it from the middle rope as opposed to Rollins at the Rumble, who did it from the top rope. And actually, people are saying it was better than anything on the New Japan show this morning. But I still got to watch the New Japan show. Spoiler alert, I will not be watching the New Japan show tonight.
I was gonna say, let's not go there right now. You better not be reading it. You better not be watching tonight.
Yes, Brian, because if I have to wake up at 6:30, the one thing I want to do, no matter how great the show is going to be, is at 12 midnight when we get off the air here, I want to go watch the 3.5 hour New Japan show.
Oh, I hear you do. I know you're excited for it.
Yeah. Hey, you need to watch New Japan, dude. It's a freaking awesome show if you don't understand a dang word that the announcers are saying.
What you want?
Oh, great. Now Brian's being racist again. And he chuckles, folks. It's like, it's not enough him being racist. He has to be racist and a prick.
Oi.
I do want to apologize to Stevie J and everyone at AngryMarks.com. I swear, Brian just won't be on the show anymore. I'll fire him tomorrow. By the way, I am watching my language. I know that, while we're normally a PG-13 show, most shows on AngryMarks are more of a PG show, so I'm trying to watch my language and not point out when Brian's being...
now.
Yes, I'm telling it now 20 minutes in the show because you haven't cursed yet.
Yes, I did.
When did you curse?
I have said the F word at least twice and SHIT at least 3 times.
Shit's not a curse. Now apologize for saying the F word.
I am sorry for saying the F word. It will not happen again this entire show.
I hope someone's finding this as entertaining as I am.
Really?
That's all I got to say.
Me right now?
I'm not. By the way, stop saying bullshit. We're never going to be on that site ever again. You know that, right?
No. Thanks, Emerson. Thanks.
Well, chances are Stevie D is going to edit out after we finish this NXT review. So save your cussing for another 15, 20 minutes, Brian. Okay?
All right.
You think you'll survive?
I'm hoping I will, but it's going to be hard.
Hey, we still have this week in history with...
Maybe Solomon can hack into CBJ's account and unedit his edited version of this show. Yeah?
Wow.
Yeah? All right.
I swear, we're looking for a new co-host, ladies and gentlemen.
You would say that now for how long?
ewhitner@yahoo.com. Just send all requests over to me. And so with that, we go to what I wrote was these women don't stand a chance after Neville and Balor. And Brian, I don't know about you, but I don't know what you're thinking, but oh boy, was I wrong.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, you were very wrong. Very wrong indeed.
Charlotte, Sasha, Bayley, and Becky. I want to say something. And, I said this before Charlotte and Natty at NXT TakeOver, and then they had a phenomenal match. I said it before Charlotte and Bayley at TakeOver Fatal 4-Way, and they had a phenomenal match. I said it before Charlotte and Sasha at NXT TakeOver Our Evolution, and they had a phenomenal match. And I said last week, again, that I did not have high hopes for this match at all.
Yeah.
And I was wrong.
Boy, were you
wrong.
Again.
I want to point out, I was just pulling it out of my rear end every time I said I didn't think this was going to be a good match, because Bayley and Becky Lynch have the worst chemistry of any two people on the roster. They constantly had horrible matches together. They were in tag team matches. They were just so horrendous with each other. I'm thinking to myself, these two are going to make this match fall apart. Charlotte's inexperienced. Sasha's not experienced enough to hold the thing together by herself. This is going to be a train wreck. And, oh my God, was I wrong.
How'd that work out for you?
I don't care what the match is, in May. I don't care if it's Jenna Maraska versus Charmel 2 in the next live special.
Don't say that ever again.
I'm just going to say whatever match they have in May is going to be a phenomenal match, because I can't keep being wrong.
Yeah. And once you're going to be wrong again, it's going to completely suck.
You're right. It probably is. Now that I'm I'm not going to doubt them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Who am I to doubt, the women's division for having a chance of sucking? At least on the main show. Yes. None of the 4RL Dandy. I'll tell you what, Bayley's theme is growing on me.
Yeah, it is kind of snatchy.
I forget what even her old theme was, but her old theme was just so, it fit her so well that I was so mad when they changed it. But now it's she's had the new theme for 6 months, and I'm finally getting into it.
I'll take word for that. He's had new music for that long.
Yeah, she had it since the second TakeOver show in September.
Okay.
Dave Meltzer said this was probably one of the 5 best women's matches since the Jumping Bomb Angels era, at least in WWE anyway, and I'd believe it.
Wow,
Sasha hit the suicide dive through the ropes onto Bayley and Becky. Charlotte and her big giant mole protruding out decided that she couldn't be upstaged, so she did a slingshot dive over the top. Back in the ring, Bayley hit the Bayley to belly suplex off the top rope to Charlotte, but Sasha tried to steal the pin. Sasha slapped on the crossface and pulled Charlotte back in a direction that no person should ever be pulled, and Charlotte just could not tap out. And until finally, Sasha used the crucifix, and I filled up Twitter by yelling, yes, 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 as the referee counted 3, and the love of my life, Snoop Dogg's niece, Sasha Banks, won the women's title.
Snoop Dogg's niece. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm serious.
Interesting. I believe you. I'm saying interesting for it.
Yep. And, she's the 3rd champion, and actually she's the first person to actually pin the preceding champion to win the title, because Paige had the belt for almost a year, but they stripped it from her when she got called up to Raw, and then Charlotte was the 2nd champion.
This is true.
Brian talks about how this is true, like he knows what we're talking about, or that.
Well, I know what he's talking about. There's a tournament once Paige got called up.
Yes, it was the Paige Invitational.
It came down to Natalia and Charlotte, and Charlotte won. So yeah, I know.
See, Brian has good short-term memory because he heard me talk about that 2 minutes ago. But
I
want to point out.
I knew what you meant.
Hey, I have done these NXT reviews for 4.5 years. So if anyone thinks I'm full of it, yes, well, there's a point for this, Brian. So if anyone thinks I'm full of it, can go back 2 years, because I have loved Sasha Banks since the moment she debuted. And Brian can attest it, because I'm sure they're all sitting in his inbox unread, all the reviews I've sent him, and I've called her the love of my life now for 2 years. And when everyone made fun of how much lipstick she wore, I pointed out that I loved it. And here she is. She's finally champion.
Okay, Emerson, she didn't just win the women's title at WrestleMania here. Relax.
Well, I doubt, even when and if she gets called up, I doubt she's ever going to get that chance, because WWE women's matches are 3-minute piss break filler matches between main events.
Yes, this is true.
Like, do you think they'd give this match, what did they give them, like 10, 12 minutes here on the show to have this awesome match? Do you think they would get anywhere close to that on, what the hell's next, on Fastlane? Do you think Nikki Bella and Paige are going to get 12 minutes?
Not even close. I'm going to give them 5 tops.
If that. And that might even include the entrances, is 5.
And watch, they'll go 15. Solid 15, best match on the card.
If that happens, oh boy.
Yeah. I'll take your NXT reviews if that happens.
If that happens, I quit.
I will take over your NXT reviews if that happens.
Oh, God. So after the match, Charlotte hugged Sasha, who looked like she was going to cry into Charlotte's boobs, but she managed to stop herself and shove Charlotte away. And you see, that was furthering my theory. There was too much sportsmanship on the show tonight. I'm like, it's going to end with a big heel turn. And, again, I was wrong.
Yes, you are, Emerson. It's okay. It's okay.
So, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens for the NXT title. They did the old, I don't know, I'm sure somebody did this before TNA, but I remember when TNA used to, like, when people were walking to the ring, they do the slow walk from the back.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about,
Yeah. They did that with this match. And, yeah, WWE did it, like, once with Brett and Shawn on a Montreal Screwjob. But I just mentioned TNA because TNA always did it for a while. But they did that with Zayn and Owens. Now, keep in mind the backstage area is like 20 feet, so it's like it wasn't that long of a walk to the front. Oh, by the way, one thing we didn't mention, speaking of entrances, Finn Balor did his big over-the-top entrance.
Not as impressive as the first one. Not as big as the first one. Or as impressive.
Well, because the first one was the first time.
Yeah.
Plus, I noted that Triple H was very impressed with the way that Finn Balor took 6 minutes to walk to the ring.
Finn, we need you to melt this. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, come on. If anyone can appreciate someone walking to the ring very slowly, it's Hunter.
Yes, it is Hunter.
Someone joked on Twitter that if this was at WrestleMania, Finn Balor would have taken up 45 minutes of airtime walking to the ring.
He would be into the new Undertaker. Mark my words.
Yeah. And like we used to joke that Randy Orton was the slowest walker in the company.
Nope, not anymore. Finn's got him beat.
Finn Balor. So Zayn and Owens, I watched El Generico and Kevin Steen in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, have a last man standing match at an ROH show in 2012. And now I got to watch them do a ROH match just on NXT in 2015, about 50 miles north of Fort Lauderdale.
So you're close, but not quite there yet.
The story of this match was Brock versus Cena at SummerSlam. Owens beat the crap out of Sammy from the start. Zayn would get little bursts of offense, and I mean little bursts of offense, and Owens would beat him down some more. The only thing missing was the F5 30 seconds into the match. Zayn would not give up, but he just took a beating and took another beating, and when he wasn't in between beatings, he took a beating. Finally,
another beating.
Owens got one near fall after another, including after the cannonball and that Michinoku driver that he does, but drops his opponent on the back of his knee. Zayn messed up his legs forever by putting his knees up on an Owens swanton.
Ooh, yeah.
He did hit the exploder suplex and went for the haluva kick, but Owens rolled outside. Owens went for the powerbomb in the corner of the ring apron, but Zayn blocked it and hit a spring-legged acai moonsault, but Zayn smacked the back of his head off the ramp and was all downhill from there.
Quote, unquote.
Yes. Back in the ring, Zayn did go for the haluva kick, but he stumbled, selling his head injury. So Owens hit the pop-up powerbomb, and Zayn kicked out. Brian, when the finish was happening, were you convinced that there was going to be a DQ?
Yes.
Because they kept doing it where Owens was getting to the top of the hour, and the match wasn't over yet, and Owens is just beating on Zayn in the corner. The referee keeps pulling him off, and Owens kept running back and hitting him in the corner, and the referee kept pulling him back, and all I could think was, oh my God, they're going to do a crappy DQ finish.
No, they're going to do it even crappier. Cannot continue finish.
Oh, I disagree. I think this was a great finish. Zayn refused to lose, basically. And the referee had to stop it to save him. A doctor came over to check on Zayn. Owens hit two championship-winning power bombs, and Zayn rolled over. He didn't even kick out. Owens was doing kind of the Undertaker pin, and Zayn just rolled over. Which I thought was a really good spot. Doctors checked on him some more, so Owens hit him with two more power bombs, and that's when we got the referee stoppage finish. The fans kind of popped at first, like they knew Owens won, they knew it was a ref stoppage, but they didn't quite know if the title changed hands until the referee handed him the belt, and the crowd exploded. And so Kevin Owens joined Seth Rollins, Big E Langston, Bo Dallas, Adrian Neville, and Sami Zayn, and is your sixth NXT champion.
That is it.
Brian,
good night.
Brian, what'd you think of that, the whole match?
That was a decent match, I felt. It wasn't as good as Zayn and Neville from last NXT, but it's pretty good.
Now, honestly, I thought it was the third best match on the show. I had sat here and thought, well, that's obviously the second best behind Neville and Balor. Then I'm like, as good as it was, the women's four-way was better.
Yeah. Oh, my God, that one's four-way match was amazing.
Yes. And literally again, like we said this last time, I'll say it again, the last hour and 20 minutes of this show was just phenomenal, and go out of your way to...
Tommy and Tyler Breeze did a damn good job. That was a pretty good opener.
It wasn't No, I'm not saying it was a bad match. I'm saying you could go and I'm not saying don't watch it. You can watch the whole show, and yes, go watch the whole show. However, if you're like Brian, you didn't watch the show, and there's no way in heck I'm going to convince you to watch the whole show, tune in at 40 minutes into the show and watch the last three matches.
I did watch this show, thank you very much.
Yes, but it wouldn't be the first time you didn't watch a show, and no matter how many times I ordered you to watch it, at best you watched half of it.
This is true. But I did watch all of this one.
Yeah. By the way, I can't wait for Kane, Big Show, and the Bello Twins to be fired up and decide that they need to top this show.
Oh, dear God. Yeah, no. Please, no. Please.
So, overall, easy thumbs up?
Yes, easy thumbs up. It's sad that we're giving thumbs up more to NXT 2-hour shows than WWE pay-per-views. Sad, but yes.
Honestly, there hasn't been a bad NXT 2-hour show.
No, I've watched them all, I think, but the first one.
NXT Arrival?
I did watch the first one. I did watch the first one.
Okay, I was going to say that one had, I think, the best, either the best or second best match in the whole 5 of them at this point, with Zayn and Cesaro. So that's the NXT audio update, and like I said, I don't know if Stevie J is going to cut us off for right now, but in case he is, I do want to thank you all for listening. And if he does cut me off, jump on over to Blog Talk Radio /Wrestling Outsiders and listen to the next, 20, 30 minutes that we're going to be on here. And
20.
If he leaves it on, well, great.
You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.